A conventional sports bike's for everyone, but what about a retro racing machine? Inspired straight out of the early 60s, a composition of rock and roll, good looks, and power. Greetings everyone, this is Throttle Alpha's take on this killer Brat build. The engine of the motorcycle, derived straight off a CG125 unit, features a 124cc 4-stroke air-cooled engine that has about 9.8 Nm of torque and 10.8 horsepower. And the engine size looks perfect with the elongated chassis as you can see here. The bike has a lot of the original components present. It still has the original Kickstarter and an open air intake that allows more air to be drawn inside the engine so that you can maintain high revs and the engine is not damaged. And for a classic Japanese engine, this unit's from 1986. After a complete overhaul, it still manages to push to decent numbers and has a mileage of about 35 to 40 km per liter and a top speed of around 115 km per hour. Coming to the tires of this motorcycle being the biggest advantage for this bike, this offers immense cornering abilities and provides confidence while riding this machine. The main disadvantage would be these tires are spoket tube tires, but no matter the odds, the tires look very good with the bike, performs perfectly, and the grips are superb. And the rear tires are of 450 width size and of 17 inch of ring size. The front tires are of 400 width size and of 18 inch ring size. Other than off-road conditions, the tires are performers with grip, tackling corners and providing good stopping force is its prime capabilities. In context of the power of the motorcycle, the brakes aren't good. This would be the greatest disadvantage for the bike due to the lack of any discs. The front drum lacks instant bite and takes up a lot of space to stop. All the stopping force relies upon the rear drums. An addition of a front disc would have made things way better for the bike. Coming to the suspension setup, the front suspensions are invert forks and the rear suspension setup can be stated as one of the disadvantages for this bike because it's very stiff. Though the stiffness helps the bike stay sharp during high velocity situations and cornerings, but since the chassis was elongated, it's a pretty common issue for such builds to not have a fully performing suspension setup. They'll make squeaky noises if not oiled properly and lack the comfortable feedback. The most eye-catching factor about this motorcycle would be the beautiful chrome finish applied to it. And the chrome finish beautifully correlates with the engine shell chrome finish and strikingly adds up to the road presence. The custom installed tail lights and indicators and the headlight too adds up to the part divided aggressive handlebar. And the handlebar finishing too is done perfectly. The mudguard is made of metal and it does its job perfectly and adds up to the beauty of this bike. The finishing of the seat is done right, not comfortable, but yes, gives a pretty aggressive stance once the rider kicks in. And yes, this is exactly how you look while riding the bike. And now moving to the custom meters installed to it, the speed cluster is one of the basic clusters that every cafe racers get, and the rev bar too is split to the side of the motorcycle. Now coming to the custom muffler tip. The way this has been set up, the exhaust note sounds exquisite. And the exhaust piping is wrapped and it adds up to the aggressiveness of this motorcycle. So from a CG to this dominating Brat, the transformation is surely one of a kind, and such builds are killer to ride. Cafe racers were never about practicality but about taking those corners, retro class. We'll come up with another video very soon.
Tra la la tra la tra la la tra la la tra la tra la la tra la la tra la tra la la tra la la tra la tra. In your side, pleasure, boom, shape pleasure.